As Thomas was awakened by the loud music, he wondered what challenges the day would bring. Thomas is a soldier fighting in the American Civil War in the year 1863. The horn that wakes Thomas and his fellow soldiers every morning is called a bugle. Different tunes mean different things. The men know by heart the songs for waking up, charging into battle, and retreating. Each morning, Thomas wakes up, gets dressed, and hurries off to morning drills. Today is no different. Drills consist of the men marching in line and practicing for battle. This morning, the men drill for 3 hours straight. After morning drills, Thomas is feeling hungry. But before having a meal, Thomas joins his friend George for a smoke. Tobacco is a highly sought-after good during the war. Coffee is another thing that the soldiers like having in their camps. Since Thomas is fighting for the Confederacy, he always has tobacco, but good coffee is hard to come by. The Union soldiers, on the other hand, had supplies of coffee, but no tobacco. Last May, Thomas's regiment had been stationed very close to the fighting. He and George had made friends with a few of the Union boys, nicknamed Billy Yank. The Northern Yanks called Thomas and George Johnny Reb, since they fought for the Southern rebels. The men would secretly trade tobacco and coffee with each other in the woods. After their pipes were emptied, Thomas begins cooking his lunch. Salt pork, watery coffee, and hardtack again, thought Thomas as he kneeled over the fire. Hardtack was a dry, square, flavorless biscuit made of flour and water. Hardtack was very common during the war since it did not spoil easily. Thomas and George often joked that if you weren't careful, you'd break your teeth on your lunch. Thomas longed for fresh fruits and vegetables. It had been weeks since he had eaten anything green. The diet of the soldiers led to many health problems, such as scurvy. Scurvy is a disease you get from not consuming enough vitamin C, a nutrient found in many fruits and vegetables. It affected many men during the war, including Thomas's brother, Gabe. Thomas remembered that when Gabe got sick, he was sent to the field hospital. The hospital was a tent in the middle of camp where a surgeon would treat the wounded. The doctor tried his best to help Gabe, but the crowded conditions led to the transmission of communicable diseases among the men. A communicable disease is any illness transmitted between people. Gabe caught the measles from another soldier while he was in the hospital tent and died soon after. After reminiscing and finishing his meal, Thomas walks back through the camp and joins George and a few other soldiers for an afternoon of gambling. The men play dominoes and a few card games before the sun sets. As the sun drops below the horizon, Thomas feels lucky that there was no fighting today. He slowly makes his way back to his tent to get ready for sleep. He knows that the morning bugle call will come much faster than he expects. The vocabulary words from this story were bugle, drill, Billy Yank, Johnny Reb, hardtack, scurvy, and communicable disease.